Hey all. So I am definitely going to be discussing something really fun tonight. See that tree? Hold on. We have a great evening. Let me situate here. So I'm going to take some time tonight to talk about coherence and communion and true community. And I'll let you in on the secret. They're all really the same thing. So I'm going to start by saying if you're feeling anything less than joyful or peaceful, you're incoherent. And you'll understand what I mean by that in a moment. You probably have your own definition of what coherent means and incoherence. But I want to get to the root definition of that word and understand that everything in the universe is about coherence or connection or communion. You are in truth connected to everyone and everything. This isn't just a spiritual principle, which it is. It's a principle of the main principle in the Course in Miracles, or a key principle, but it's also science. And in the Course in Miracles, it says there will come a time very shortly, which I believe we're in this time, where science and spirituality or religion will become one and the same. And so, excuse me. So here we go. I'm going to read this definition of communion first, of communion. Communion is the sharing or exchanging of intimate thoughts and feelings, especially when the exchange is on a mental or spiritual level. It's the exchanging of intimate thoughts or feelings on a spiritual or mental level. So you could say that's a form of connection, right? Communion. So I want to define the words in the way that I mean them, not in the way you may be thinking about them or is typically used. So I know some religions use the word communion. Catholics use that word when you're going up to receive the host, you're receiving communion. What that word really means, though, is to share or have an exchange of communication, or you could view that as verbal communication or some idea, but it's also energetic exchange, right? And so quantum physics talks about this. Everything is energy. Everything is vibrating energy. Everything. You, the chair you're sitting on, your laptop, everything, right? But energy, truly, in truth, energy doesn't have boundaries around it. You know, if you take a drop of water out of the ocean, it's going to have everything in it the ocean has in it. If you put that drop back in the ocean, you won't see it as a separate drop. It's connected to all the rest of the drops, right? Sort of same things happening for us, though we don't realize it. We're in this illusion of this bag of bones and water, right? This bag of bones and water, my bag of bones and water is separate from yours. And, you know, never shall the two come fully together, no matter how close you get and think about it. I won't mention how, but there's always skin around you, right? In this level of illusion. So the energy is vibrating at a rate that it becomes solidified or concretized, but in its true essence, it's still energy vibrating. And so to commune is to join energies, right? And there are lots of ways to do that. I'm going to talk about the key way in a moment. I'm going to read the definition of coherence. So, you know, communion is the sharing or exchanging of intimate thoughts and feelings. Coherence is the quality of forming a unified whole. There's another definition, the quality of being logical and consistent. And the reason that actually generates forming a unified whole, right, is because we come into alignment, right? But the essence of that word really means forming a unified field or a unified whole. And so life is about coherence. And when life isn't going well or isn't going right, you don't have enough energy, or you feel like you're pushing that muddy boulder up the muddy hill, it's because you're incoherent, right? You're not connecting. You're not connected to all that is. You're not connected to source. You're not connected to the field, to the grid, to the lattice, to the network, right? So as a disconnected being, you can experience a lot of ideas and thoughts and creativity, but in order to be in your full power, you want to be plugged in, right? You want to be coherent. And one way to find coherence, and I think the most powerful way, the two key principles that I extract from A Course in Miracles that I apply in my own terms and I use in all my coaching and all my group work, is the two ideas, key things that we all need to find if you want to be as powerful as possible in the world and find your true joy, bliss, and happiness, right? And so I'm going to speak about one right now, and then we'll talk about the other one. So the idea of, in the Course in Miracles, it calls it your function. I believe I talked about this last week. I talk about it a lot, but that we each have a special, unique function or a special and unique purpose. We're all pieces of the grand puzzle of God's creation, meant to bring heaven to earth. Each and every one of us has a piece of the puzzle. And if your piece is missing, the rest of us don't get to have it, right? We need to come together in this divine communion, right? This coherence in order to bring God's vision for heaven on earth forward. And there is an idea, a vision for heaven on earth. It's there for us. You just have to find your piece, right? Make your contribution to the whole. And so one way to come into coherence is by remembering your purpose, your specific purpose, one that's yours and yours alone. And once you remember it, then commit to that purpose. Those two things together, remembering it and committing it to it, bring you into coherence, because coherence is connection. It's communion. You're now communing with your purpose, or finding oneness with your purpose. You are your purpose living out. And so that purpose will also plug you. Once you find coherence, you find the network. You find the divine lattice work, the divine energy. You could call it the vortex. You could call it all that is, right? And so you plug into that, and through that network, the network of all these extensions of source, crisscrossing and coming together, through that network and plugging into it, what's yours will come to you. All the support you need, all the people, all the resources will all come to you through that network. You don't even have to think about how to make it happen. It just shows up. And those that are yours, they're meant to be communing with you or in your community through communion or communing, right? Communion is your common union. You find community. And through the community, all things are possible. And nothing can stand against us. Nothing. In a unified community, nothing can stand against you. So those who have a similar purpose to you, or you could say who have a function that relates to your purpose, a shared purpose, they will find you and you will find them. You will gravitate to each other, and then you will find more coherence, more connection, more communion, more unity. You will become united in a community that is unstoppable. That's the idea. So unite with your purpose plugs you into a unified field, or the God mind, the divine lattice work or network. That word network with a capital N, right? It's no different than what's happening when you plug your laptop or your phone into the internet. Separately of themselves, right? They have power and they can do a lot of cool things, but nothing like when they plug in. The same is true for you. And so you want to become coherent. You want to become connected. You want to find your community, right? And as human beings, there are lots of ways we do this. We do it through shared purpose. That's the best way. But the way to start is simply by simple things like looking people in the eye again. When you're walking through Wegmans or through the stores, don't be afraid to look at people and smile, right? Especially since COVID, a lot of that has stopped happening. People become afraid of each other, more afraid of each other. There's nothing to fear. Smile, say hello, acknowledge people's existence. That's the first step in connecting. In fact, that's your homework. Go out this week, everywhere you go, smile and nod and say hi to as many people as possible. I mean, some people will be shocked. They haven't had a stranger say hi to them in so long, or even look them in the eyes. Right? You've probably had this experience yourself. It's okay to look people in the eyes, smile, say hello, right? Okay. So finding coherence so important. You do that by discovering or becoming or remembering, becoming aware of your purpose again and committing to it and making your life be about that. Once you do that and you plug into that divine network, all energy is yours. That is a source of endless energy. The God mind, the unified field, there's endless energy there. You can never exhaust it. There's only more and more of it all the time. And so when you plug into that energy, you will be fully energized. I call that passion. That's what passion really is. Passion is the word we give to that feeling of being fully energized because of the idea we're holding in our mind or the purpose we hold in our mind, what we're being about. And so if you're feeling burnt out, or burned out, however you like to say it, or unmotivated, tired, don't want to get up out of bed in the morning, come home exhausted, can't do anything, just want to crash on the couch or whatever. It's not because you're working too hard. I mean, that is the excuse we use, but it's because you're not working on the thing you're here for. So you're working from a limited resource of energy because the universe doesn't support us when we're not on purpose. It's not trying to harm us. It's not trying to be mean to us. There's just no energy for it because we're not plugged in, right? You have to plug into the field. You plug into the field by knowing your purpose and committing to it. Knowing your purpose and committing to it. I want to suggest to you, if you're feeling anything less than joy or peace this evening or this week and in any part of your life, it's a purpose issue. It's a communion issue. It's a connection issue. You're not connected. You're disconnected. You're incoherent. It's all the same thing. Okay. And so being about your purpose is how you connect. It's how you find your tribe, your community. Right. And so once you do that, once you start moving in that direction and you commit to it and you find that passion and that drive and that energy, it's pouring through you, you're going to want to do something with it, right? You're going to be about your purpose, but that drive to connect is going to be so strong. I want to provide a way for you to do that, okay? And so I'm going to talk to you about it in a moment. In a moment, I'm going to tell you some of the vision that I have and then me and my team have, and my vision team is holding right now. We're trying to bring into the world. We will be bringing into the world. It's in a very early stages. The idea has been around for about 9 years. I've sort of been slowly working on it, but now it's coming to this crucial point where the energy is really rising and timing is perfect. So what I would say to you, regardless of what I'm doing or not, is you want to find those you connect with through purpose. There's nothing more powerful than two or more minds joined together under one purpose, and nothing comes into reality without some form of union. Two or more minds connecting, some form of connection. Nothing in your room right now, nothing wherever you're seated, not the chair, not the TV, not the floor, not the house, nothing, not your body. All of that required two or more coming together. Nobody does it alone, by the way. And this is the thing, extremely successful people and certain groups of people have known for eons. And just the fact that you're a member of that group, they will provide whatever they can for you. I won't mention the groups. I don't want to get into that conversation. And it's okay. Just that most of the rest of us don't know this information. If you're trying to do it alone, you're like pushing a muddy boulder up a muddy hill. It's going to slip and run you over. You need your team, your true team, your community, right? You will find them through being clear about your purpose and being about it. They will just come to you. Okay. And so in my coaching work that I do a lot of purpose and vocation work, a lot of helping people get really clear about their passion and their purpose in life. Those two come together, by the way, right? If you get clear about your passions, those will, and be about them, they will lead you to your purpose. You will discover, it will be revealed on that path of following your passions. Okay. We get caught up in chasing things because we're disconnected, we're incoherent. So we need to find things outside of ourselves and bring them in order to make ourselves feel okay. That tends to take us further away from our purpose. Many times when you're on purpose, all those things come anyway. You don't have to chase them, right? They come to you because they're usable to move your purpose forward. So in my coaching, I work with this. I like to work with everyone, but especially young men. Okay. Right now, I think a lot of young men are struggling. They've received a lot of mixed messages about their masculinity, their manhood. And I'm here to say masculinity is good. Without it, nothing happens. The feminine energy is absolutely necessary. It's a direct connection to source. It's how you receive information. But then you need to do something, and for that you need masculine force. And everything about your masculine force is good. There's nothing bad about it. Can it be negative or used negatively? Sure, anything can be. Your car can be used to get you somewhere, or it could be used to run over a tree. You know what I mean? So there is only what's inherent in the masculine is good, and what's inherent in the feminine is good. They're meant to work together. And so one way we can do that is through this new coaching system that I put together. I just want to let you know about it real quick. It's called Level Up Coaching, or Level Up Purpose Coaching. And so this particular coaching package that I'm putting together is going to include group coaching. So you'll not only be being coached one-on-one, you'll have an accountability partner, and you'll have your true team, right? Your mastermind to work with. And so it's the mastermind is called your Life Shift Mastermind, right? You'll be part of that. And so again, nothing more powerful than two or more minds joined together under one purpose. So I want to offer that to you guys. If you're interested in it, you can call this number, which I always forget. It's Radical Reboot Core Power Coaching, 267-362-9373. It's a business number. I won't pick up that phone. It's going to be recorded, and then I'll get back to you. Or you can go to marketmarkvandergag.com. The other ways you can do this is a very simple way to participate in finding your community, your true team, is to jump into my Course in Miracles program, my Miracle Makers community. It's currently $18 a month. It's about to go up to $28 a month. It's not a lot of money. We do once a week, we do a Course in Miracles discovery groups. It's 90 minutes. You can jump in and out as you please. It's on Zoom. The people that do that meeting are amazing. A lot of them have been doing this work for a long time. A lot of very high-minded, wise people in that room. You could certainly find mentor there if you want that. Anyway, we discuss these principles that I'm teaching you right now at their core in that group. And we go through Course in Miracles, which in itself will generate miracles in your life, especially if you do the lessons in A Course in Miracles, 365 lessons. Okay. And the last thing I really want to talk about that's very exciting to me as far as coherence goes. Here's the thing, when you're coherent because energy is flowing through you, ideas are coming to you, synchronicity is happening, serendipity is happening. These things are just showing up out of the blue. You're incoherent. You're not incoherent. You are in coherence, right? You have coherence. You're connected to your truth. And so that's where this idea came for me for the hub connection center, or connection centers. Hub, of course, makes sense. Hub is a center of a wheel. There's spokes that go out to the wheel moves and carries us places, right? And so that's the idea about the hub, but it's a connection center designed to help you find your coherence, right? Connect, find true union or communion. Hub stands for Human Union Building. Think about it. It's a play on words too. Human Union Building. You're building these connections with other human beings, deep connections, right? But it's also going to be a brick and mortar. It's in a building. I want one in every town. That's what I see. A place where you go, just imagine this, any time of the day or night, 24/7. you're feeling lonely, disconnected, not inspired, unhappy, sad, depressed, whatever it is, anything less than joy or peace, you can pick your ass up, get in the car, and drive downtown to the hub. And in the hub, there'll always be somebody there waiting to receive you. You could sit at any table with any group, with any person. That is the culture of the hub. In the hub, you receive trainings for how to deeply receive other human beings without prejudice, without judgment. Doesn't mean you agree. You can easily disagree and still find communion. And that's our power. The truth is, we view each other like we're these separate puzzle pieces because you're not shaped like me. You don't think like me. You don't have the same ideas or suggestions or answers that I have. Then you're somehow wrong, or I'm somehow wrong. And then that causes us to polarize. Polarization is the worst thing that can happen to us. And trust me, some of the powers that be know this, and that's why they want to reinforce polarization, conflict, right? They're always pushing left and right, right? Right and wrong, good and bad. But that's not really true. Inside each one is a piece of the puzzle or a piece of truth that they can bring to the forefront for the rest of us. When you view them as somehow different and therefore wrong, you polarize, they concretize, they solidify at a very far end. And then their idea, the thing they're meant to bring, or the thing you're meant to bring, becomes something it was not meant to be. In order for it to, the truth is always flexible. It's malleable. It's soft. It's like water. When water comes to water, it blends together, right? When we get into right and wrong thinking, we polarize. What is my intuitive sense of truth starts to get twisted into something that's not true or not 100% true. It's perverted in some way. It's twisted. It goes way off to one side, far left, far right. You know what I'm saying? So that does not have to be. And there are lots of people out there that don't want you to know this, but it doesn't have to be. Again, you don't have to agree, but if you genuinely learn how to deeply receive another, you will find coherence. You will connect. And there's a way to deeply receive. And the way to deeply receive is listen without judgment. Just take them in. You know, in the Course of Miracles, it says your eyes are projectors. As human beings, we use our eyes as projectors rather than what they're meant to be, which is receivers. So we already have beliefs, thoughts, and ideas. We project that on the one in front of us. We project that, and then we attack that. So through this process of deep receptivity, through listening without judgment, or what I like to call soft visioning, where you let in the person in front of you, you see them for who they really are, you deeply receive them. You don't tell them who and what they are out of an already preconceived notion. And that's a practice. And of course, it calls that practice forgiveness. But that's a practice anybody can learn how to do it. And when you learn how to do it, all power becomes yours. Because there's nothing out there that can harm you if you let it in. If it's true, it joins with your truth and expands truth to you. If it's not true, or some part of it's not true, your touchstone for truth knows that and just falls away like it hits Teflon, just slides away. Has no effect on you at all. You become the clarifier for truth, not just for you, but for the one before you. Just by receiving them, they will start to become more and more clear about their truth. And so that's what the hubs are. Inside the hubs, there's going to be a cafe, where people can sit at any table, anytime, 24/7, hang out and talk to each other, right? I want to call the cafe, the thought that came to me is common ground, and a play on words, but common ground. There'll be some healthy food in there, coffee, tea, whatever. And then there'll be other things happening there. There's going to be an auditorium for regular weekly trainings and discussions. There'll be breakout rooms. If you're a yoga teacher, you want to teach people yoga, or you're a musician, you want to teach music, or there'll be these vision teams I'm going to put together. So if you have a vision for your life, you want to join with others with similar visions, you meet with that vision team every week. Again, you hold each other's vision. That stuff is going to show up. That's how that works. There's power in that. There'll be things that you do in there. Maybe we'll have a health club, or there'll be some sort of gymnasium, but all those things that you do out in the world will be there, but only as an excuse for us to find true connection or true communion, for us to come together in community. We get to play together, but under this culture of deep receptivity. Okay, that's the idea for the hub. If you're interested in any way of being a part of that, being a contributor, a donor, a member, just get a hold of me through the sources I just gave you, through the phone number 267-362-9373 or mark@markvandergag.com. Someone will definitely get back to you and you connect with me and we'll talk about it. Okay. All right, you guys, I love you. Find coherence tonight. That means, here, I'm going to leave you with a question. Ask yourself tonight, and maybe throughout the week, what in my life feels like flow instead of force? What in my life feels like flow instead of force? When you find your flow, that is your purpose whispering to you. In your flow, there's passion. Things move easily. Energy generates more and more of itself. So what feels like flow and what feels like force? Force is like pushing that muddy boulder up the muddy hill. If you have a lot of force going on in your life, you're off purpose. And I'm telling you, that is the cause of all your upset. The Course says all problems are really expressions or forms of the one problem. And the one problem is some form of disconnection or separation or belief in separation. So every solution to every form of that problem will include some form of connection, communion, coherence. All right, I'll leave with that. Peace out. Have a great night. Don't forget to ask yourself that question. It's going to start leading you into that place of peace and joy. Did I answer the other question? We talked about burnout. We did, right? Okay. If you're burnt out, it's because you're off purpose. All right. Peace, guys.